I'm Tambi Saffran from Focus Magazine, and I'm in Santa Monica, right across the street from the ocean, talking to Peter Engel, who you may know is the executive producer of such hit shows as Saved by the Bell and Last Comic Standing. Peter's also written a book called I Was Saved by the Bell that talks about his television career as well as his personal life. Nice to have you with us, Peter.
Nice for me to have you.
It's very nice here.
Right.
So you have had this amazing journey that's spanned over half a century,
Right.
Amazing TV career. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started?
I got started when I watched the Texaco Star Theater on the west side of Manhattan with Milton Berle. I was 12 years old, and I think we had according to me, we had the first television, and I fell in love. But of course I didn't tell anyone I had to be in television. I was too shy, and I was too embarrassed. And then I was going to NYU, and the thing to be in those days was an NBC page, not CBS, not ABC, NBC 30 Rock. And I was doing film school at NYU, and I felt I wasn't going fast enough. I was a young man in a hurry, but a shy young man, not the big mouth I am today. So all my parents' friends, they knew someone who knew something, and of course nothing ever happened. And so I, one day, ran out of my class at NYU, jumped on the subway, went to 30 Rock, and said, I want to be a page. And they said, we only take applications by mail. We got 14,000, and we take 7, not 8, not 9. I said, well, I'm the first one here for the interview, which was so out of character. And I talked my way in, and I went to school during the day, and I worked at night and Saturdays at NBC, the famous page staff at 30 Rock. And in November, I did a book signing in the NBC store, and they brought all the pages down to take pictures with me.
How nice, come full circle.
Yeah. And then, of course, in later years, NBC owned half my company. And when we did Bell and California Dreams and Comic Standing was still doing, I think it may come back again. And I would, instead of being a page, I'd be sitting in the president's office yelling at him.
So funny. You also talk about the casting of Saved by the Bell,
Right.
which you're very well known
Right.
for. I love your Bayside shirt,
Yeah,
by the way.
I bought a Bayside shirt for you.
Thank you.
I have about a dozen more. I wrote the first scene. I didn't want to do the show. Brandon Tartikoff had brought me to NBC, the mercurial, young 32-year-old president. And he was like a younger brother to me. And he said, we're going to do great things. And he wanted me to do a Saturday morning show. And 3 years later, the New York Times was interviewing me, going in 85 countries. No comedy had gone to more than 6 ever, because every comic is unique to its country, but every kid went to school. And the New York Times said, you said, what a great idea. And I said, no, I said, told them to get someone else. And I went home that night, my wife said, how was your day? And I said, they want me to do a Saturday morning show. She said, that's great. I said, why? Who cares about kids' shows? She said, how about our kids, who made when they were 4 and 6, made the Heart.
Right, I read that in the book.
Joshua,
That's wonderful.
Drew, and Stephen filled it in. So I wrote the first scene. My daughter would come out for the summer. Her mother was remarried and living in Miami. Mm-hmm. And Lauren was a year younger than the Bell kids. But we didn't have the Bell kids yet. So I wrote the first scene, and I said, what do you think of this? She said, I'm in love with Zach. I said, what do you mean you're in love with Zach? Zach's the name of the piece. She said, I don't care, I'm in love with Zach. So I remember I would call my casting director every day and night, Shana Landsberg, and I would say, no Zach, no show. And I would look out, we had offices above the stage at Burbank at NBC Stage 9, and I would see my line producer walking her around the lot with her arm around there. And one day she called me and said, I found Zach. And he came in the next day, and he had that twinkle in his eye. I said, this kid speaks English, he's got the job. And he was the heart of the show. We shot the Beach Club right up here.
Nice.
Malibu Sands was about 200 yards up the beach. And it was just a great, great experience.
It was a great ride for you.
It was a great ride. And people forget, show business is supposed to be fun. We had fun. Because the kids...
I could feel that in the book, how much you loved it.
I loved the kids. They loved me, I hope.
Do you still keep in touch with them?
I speak to Mario. I saw Elizabeth recently. Whenever we do, it's great.
You were kind of like a dad to them,
well,
right?
Not only people don't realize, not only was I the executive producer and the papa, they were 14, and Dustin was 11. not only was I the executive producer and writer and the papa, but we had to run a school, a real school. Forget Bayside. We on our office floor, we had a school with 2 full-time teachers, and I had to be the principal. They didn't want to come to my office. That. And we had great teachers. We had the guy who invented new math, and Tiffany could have gone to she could have gone to MIT. That's how brilliant she was in math. Elizabeth got accepted to UCLA, but they didn't go. But the schoolroom, 1 grade below a B, and you can't work in California. As my daughter found out when she was going to be an extra, a PA 3 days a week and an extra 2 days a week, the teacher came to me and said, Lauren's grades, and I can't have 1 grade below a B. I said, most of her grades are below a B. So she did that 1 episode, Zach signed my arm in Rocky Bench.
Right.
Yeah. And it was great. Because
So
I've been messing with it for 5 years.
Let's talk about the book. When did the book come out, and where can people get the book?
Okay. The book came out in November.
Mm-hmm.
They can get the ebook and the softcover book at Amazon.
Okay.
And there are bookstores, but I don't know which ones. Of course, I don't know. And they can get at IWasSavedByTheBell.com. They can get an autographed, limited edition of this. This are in stores too, but they can get an autograph.
It's been such an honor to meet you, Peter. Thank you so much for talking to us today. I have a favor to ask you.
Anything.
Okay. Can I get a show in there? No, just kidding. Will you sign my book for me?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
You have a pen too.
I do. I'm prepared.
Tambi.
Tambi, you got it. I love it. To Tambi, may all your dreams come true. Peter Engel. Thank you so much.
Because on the cover it says, stories of life, love, and dreams that do come true.
I'll cherish this forever. Thank you so much.
All mine came true.
Well, hopefully mine will now
blessed
too.
With no regrets. Look at this.
It's amazing. Thank you so much.
It was great.
I give myself a look, I'm at the corner just in time to see the bus fly by. It's alright, cause I'm saved by the bell. If the teacher pops a test, I know I'm in a mess, and my dog ate all my homework last night. Riding low in my chair, she won't know that I'm there. If I can hand it in tomorrow, it'll be alright. It's alright, cause I'm saved by the bell.
About a year ago, they said, what was it like? I said, as Baby said to Johnny in Dirty Dancing, I had the time of my life.
It's alright, cause I'm saved by the. It's alright.